You ever met somebody that is overly fascinated with spiritual warfare? Or more specifically, have you ever met somebody that thinks that everything that happens is spiritual warfare and is constantly expecting bad things to happen? I had a friend of mine that was asked to be the head intercessor for a particular ministry, and this ministry was dealing with addictions, and they dealt with a lot of deliverance. And so they'd warned him when they asked him to come in, we just want to give you a warning. If you decide to be the intercessor, we need you as an intercessor, but if you decide to be the intercessor, there's going to be a lot of warfare, because we have a lot of warfare because we're going after those that the enemy thought that he had held down. Our last intercessor just wasn't able to continue because of all the warfare. Now, this warning came, he heard it, he prayed, he felt like God said that he was supposed to be the intercessor for this ministry. So he begins to do that. And in a short period of time, he begins to have issues at home, issues with his marriage, and things begin to get difficult. And so he comes to me, John, and he tells me this whole story. And I said, well, got a question for you. You expected there to be warfare when you took this on, right? And he goes, well, yeah, I did. I said, well, that's your problem. You expect there to be warfare, and so there is. How about this? How about you expect there not to be warfare? Actually expect the power of God to be bigger than the warfare. Instead of expecting bad things to happen, expect good things to happen because you're being faithful. When you change your expectation, things change. And he repented of having given the enemy so much power to think that the enemy would ruin his life because he was being faithful to God. And almost immediately, circumstances began to change. The difficulties that he was having in his marriage subsided. The other issues that he was having, that there was an immediate change because he changed his mind. His expectation went from an expectation of the enemy bringing bad to an expectation of good. What are you dwelling on? What are you expecting on? Because faith is an expectation of something to happen. And you can have faith in the enemy or you can have faith in God. And personally, I want to have a lot more faith in God than I do in the enemy.